Yes.
So participants, okay. Raghu, can we start? Or we, please. Anish, can we start?
Please.
Okay. Good evening, dear friends. We welcome all of you to this session. We have speaker with us, Mr. Anis. Mr. Anis is from Elevate Entity, and today he is going to talk about communication skill. On behalf of Growth Club, I welcome Mr. Anis, the speaker of the day. Mr. Anis,
Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Happy Ganesh Chaturthi. And is the usual request, please everyone mute their mic, and you all allowed to ask questions at the time of feedback session. Shall we start now? Good evening. Today's session will be going to be see about communication skill. See, everybody is looking after. Day to day we are having communication with at our home or at our office or at our college classrooms or school classrooms. Everywhere we are communicating each and every day. And people may think of, what is the bloody be going to be explained about this communication skill another an hour. So people may get worried about this. But definitely there is a lot of things are there to understand the communication process, and then what are the things are involved in this communication, like listening power, and then postures and verbal communications, and then non-verbal communication. Then everything gets involved in this communication skill. So these are the things we will be going to be see further henceforth in the henceforth slides. So the purpose of this program is to learn about the fundamentals of communication skills. In this communication skills program, the contents are introduction to communication, then power of listening, then skills to improve our conversation, and then non-verbal communication. In the introduction of communication, it is not important that what we know. It is very important that you make people know that you know. With effective communication, you express it to the external world. So with effective communication, you make people think the way you think, and make them feel the way you feel, and make them people believe the way you want them to believe. So through this effective communication only, you can make all these things. And below is the diagram shows the understanding the communication process. So understanding the communication process, it starts from the source. So the source is nothing but, as the source of the message, you need to be very clear about why you are communicating and what you want to communicate to the other people. You also need to be very confident that the information you are communicating is very useful and accurate. So this is the main thing we wanted to understand before we are starting the communication. So, and then the message. So message is nothing but the information that you want to communicate. And then whatever the message is there, through proper channel only it will be encoding to the other person. So what are the channels which we are using for the effective communication are face-to-face meeting. So through face-to-face meeting we are sharing our thoughts or feelings to the other people, and then through telephonic conversation and through video conferencing and other modes of the communication channels are including letters, emails and memos and reports. Nowadays people are not using the written letters to communicate our thoughts and feelings to other people. So there are a lot of developments has come in the communication mode, like email and the internet, into mobile phone, everything has come. But still government correspondents are communicating through the written letters only to the people, because of this authenticated information which should be communicated through the people through the written letters. And then these messages will be decoding to the receiver. So just a successful encoding is a skill. So is successful involving, for example, taking the time to read the message carefully or listen actively to it. Then only the message will be decoding to the receiver, and then finally the receiver will getting the message. Individual members of your audience. No doubt you have keep in mind the actions or reactions you hope your message will get from this audience, but keep in mind though that each of these individuals enters into the communication process with ideas and feelings that will undoubtedly influence their understanding of your message. And then finally feedback. See, feedback plays very much important role in the communication. See, whatever the message we had communicated to the listener or to the receiver, we need to get whether they had understand very well. Through the feedback only we can able to ensure whether our thoughts or feelings has been properly communicated to the receiver or to the recipient. That through feedback only we can able to understand that. So this is the entire communication process. This is how it's happening. And then there are two different forms of communication. One is oral and written, and another one is verbal and non-verbal. See, verbal communication always through by mouth and then by hearing sense, or non-verbal communications through the postures, gestures, and then signing languages, and then through eye-to-eye contact. These are non-verbal communications are happening. There are 4 different classifications or communications. The conversation skill is happening always by one-to-one. So whenever we are communicating to one person, only the conversation skill will be developing by one-to-one conversation. And then through public speaking, presentation and broadcasting, one people to communicate to the many people. So one person communicating to the many people will be happening only at the time of public speaking or presentation or at the broadcasting, etc. And then many to many will be happening at the time of group discussions. And then many to one. So many person will be contacting or many person will be communicating to the one person at the time of facing the interview or any promotional panel, etc. Through this by this situation only, this many to one communication will get happen. And then verbal communication. See, verbal communication is nothing but through our spoken communication, we are communicating to our thoughts and feelings to the other people. Through speaking or through singing also, we can be able to communicate to the other people. And then through now, what is non-verbal communication? See, non-verbal communication is nothing but through our emotion or our facial expression, we are communicating our thoughts and our feelings, and then what we are thinking, that we are communicating to the other people. See, when you are looking at this picture, one woman is looking very angrily. See, by looking at this face expression itself, we understand that the person is angrily looking at us. And then the second picture shows us she is politely smiling. So when we are looking at this smiling itself, we understand that the lady is smiling. And then even though in corporate culture itself, we can understand these situations by understanding the facial expressions. When we are approaching to our boss or to our higher official, when we are approaching to get any of the approval, by looking at their face expression itself, we can understand the situation, whether now they are in angry mood or they are in a polite mood, so that it's enable us to approach him to get any of the approval, something else. Excuse me. Yeah, language. Language is the main mode of communication which we are sharing our thoughts and feelings to the other people. Yeah. Yeah, okay, please. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Balaji. Yeah, shall we continue? Yeah, see, language is the main communication tool which is involved in both the parties. See, when the communicator must need to understand the ability of the receiver or recipient, whether the opposite person can be able to understand the language through what he is going to be communicating. For example, if I am communicating through English language, I need to understand the ability of the person who is receiver and who is the listener who is in front of me, so that I can be able to start my communication. Otherwise, the communication will not be going to be end perfectly, and the communication process will not be going to be complete promptly. And my thoughts and feelings will not be going to be reached to the opposite person, will not be going to be happen successfully. And then there are some barriers to effective interpersonal communication. See, there are some barriers are there. For example, emotions. See, emotion is the main barrier in the interpersonal communication. If suppose we are from the any sorrow situation or from any tragic mood means, then we could not able to communicate well to the others, as well as the listener also, when they are coming from some different mood, they could not able to listen well, so they could not able to make their attention very well in the any session, correct? And then filtering information. See, when in some case when we are hearing any information from one of the person, and when we are passing the same information to other person, there might be a chance to filter some of the information when we are passing through this information. So because of this information sharing, the filtering also is getting happened. So because of this filtering, this is the main barrier in the filtering. And then overload with information. Sometimes what will happen is, when we are receiving some information from any one of the person, and when we are passing this information with some other ingredients, adding ingredients by ourselves, and then we are going to pass over this information to other person. So this overloaded information is the main barrier. And then defensiveness. See, sometimes what people will do is, they will defend themselves by asking some very some stupid questions, or they wanted to show themselves to the presenter or to the speaker. They wanted to show themselves as that they know everything very well, and they want, before they are starting communicating itself, yeah, I know this thing, I know that thing, so they will not show much attentive in this session. So they will defend themselves by asking some stupid questions and all. So they wanted to dominate the speaker by asking some other very clever questions. They are thinking themselves. So, and then cultural difference. See, cultural differences play a vital role in the barriers of effective interpersonal communication. See, sometimes when we are communicating to any Japanese people, see, we will say hi. See, hi means simply we will welcome any people, or in the form of very usually we will call when we are meeting any people means we will say hi. But otherwise in Japanese language they will say hi means it's okay. So when Japanese people communicating to any other people, they always used to say hi like that. So it means it's okay. So that we need to understand the ability of the person who is from the different culture. Because day to day in the corporate culture, we supposed to meet some different people. Correct. So we need to understand their own culture, and we need to make ourselves to communicate our feelings and thoughts to the other people. And then jargon. See, jargon plays a vital role in the barriers. So we need to avoid jargon words when we are communicating to other people. See, jargon is nothing but, say, this is the term which will be used only in the certain field or certain industry. For example, the word called debt. So debt will be used mostly in the financial term. So financial term, we common people will always use the word loan. Correct. So if suppose I am having around 10 lakhs rupees loan from the bank, means when I am communicating this to any other people, yeah, I am having 10 lakh rupees loan from the banker. Instead of which, if I am using the word debt, means the person will not understand what I am going to trying to say is. Correct. So we should avoid these jargons. And then 420. See, 420 is nothing but it's a legal section, Indian Penal Code section, which is used to call to a person who involves in the fraudulent or some cheating activities. So when we are communicating to any common people, we should not use any of these jargon words. And then adjourned. See, adjourned is nothing but it's the exact meaning is postponed. So in legal they wanted to postpone something. So they wanted to postpone this case to some other time. The intention of resuming it later, they will use the sentence is called adjourned. And then retention of employee. So retention of employee and retrenchment. These terms are used in most in HR terms. So these are the HR terminology. We no need to be used in front of common people. See, to retain the employee at the time of when the employer wanted to retain any employee, to understand his ability and to understand his productivity, and they really want to retain this particular employee, they will retain in some situation. So this is the process is called retention of the employee. So In common, we will call it as detain of the employee, and then retrenchment. Retrenchment is nothing but terminating of the employee. See, now this COVID situation, most of the people are getting terminated by their employers. So in such situation, so commonly we will call it as terminating of the employee or dismissing from the employment. This is all we used to call. But instead of which, if we are telling us retrenchment means, common people will doesn't understand what we are going to communicate to them. Likewise, this H2O. See, H2O is the chemical term to call for the water. So if we are going to approach a petty shop and then we are asking a petty shop owner, so okay, give 1 liter of H2O means, then you won't understand. Then he will surprisingly looking at us. So what this man is calling? So from where this man is coming, like that he will looking at us very annoyingly. Like so, always we use only a common word when we are communicating to the other people. Then we can overcome these barriers when we are making an effective communications. So as I already explained, we need to use only the simple language when we are communicating to other people, and then constrain emotions. So we need to keep our emotions away when we are communicating, as well as when we are listening, somebody is communicating to us. And then we need to listen very actively. So we need to make our active participation when we are attending in any seminar or any training session, or when we are meeting somebody else, so that we can able to understand what they are really communicating to us. And then finally, feedback. So the feedback, so whenever we are communicating anything to anybody, so we need to get feedback from them. Really you understand well, and you understand what I am trying, or what I want expect from you, like these questions when we are asking from them. So we need to ensure whether the other person has understand our thoughts and then our need very promptly. So why these communication skills are so important nowadays? See, nowadays every day we are communicating very well, and then we think that we communicated promptly and then other person is understand. But now why people are stressed to these communication skills are so important nowadays? See, there is a recent survey which is happened in a recruiters from companies with more than 50,000 employees are participated in an interview, and then when they are recruiting for the managers for their company, and in that interview this communication skill plays a vital part in the decision factor to choose the managers. So this survey is conducted by the University of Pittsburgh and Carr Business School, points out that communication skills including written and oral presentations as well as an ability in work with others are the main factor contributing to the job success. And then power of listening. See, power of listening is nothing but we have 2 ears to listen more than we are speaking by one mouth. This is what saying by one philosopher who lived over 2000 years ago. And then see, we need to make best use of this spare thinking time. We have to efficiently use it to listen carefully, and then see this. And we people are thinking listeners should be more intelligent and more studied people only can able to listen very well. Like that, common people will think. But in fact, good listener need not to be intelligent or good at reading, or he must possess any higher graduation or any higher degree and all. So listening is a different skill altogether. 4 ways to overcome spare thinking time. The listener should think a little ahead of the talker, trying to anticipate what the speaker is leading to and what conclusion should be drawn. And then the listener should weigh the evidence used by the speaker to support points that he makes. See, the listener should periodically review and summarize the points in the mind what the speaker is saying. So the listener should try to listen between the lines in search of meaning that is not necessarily put into spoken words. So pay attention to non-verbal languages, that is gestures, postures, whatever is showing by facial expressions. So whatever is showing by the speaker, that a good listener will note all these things. Listening ability is affected by our emotions. See, as I already told in communication process itself, see, emotions are playing a vital role in the listening ability. So we need to keep away our emotion when we are listening or participating in any seminar or any session itself. Hence, we should reserve judgment and decisions till the speaker completes. So before he completes, we should not interrupt. So these are the good skills of the good listener. And then we can classify the listening by three different ways. One is active listening, other one is passive listening, and another one is defensive listening. See, the active listener skills are they wanted to listen only to understand what the speaker are saying. So by the way, they will take a note and then they will listen carefully and then they will look at the speaker, how the gestures are they are showing and how about the postures they are showing and then how the body language, they will understand everything and then these are the active skills of the active listeners. So they wanted to listen actively, to listen, understand. But other side, the passive listeners are, they will listen only to hear. See here, when you are looking at this picture, the speaker is taking some session, but the listeners are, they are thinking something else in their mind. They are not even actively participating in this session. They are doing their own business. See, we can come across so many situations across in our day-to-day life when we are looking at in our company, when any session or any training seminar they are conducting, means we people will go and attend the seminar with our laptop itself, and then by attending that seminar itself, we are simply checking our Outlook email and then we are responding to our emails but we are not listening what the speaker is saying and what the trainer is saying. So this is called passive listening. So passive listening, only they will hear but they will not understand anything and they doesn't want to show much interest in the listening the session. Passive listening. See, apart from those active listener and passive listener, defensive listener are completely different from this active and passive listener. See, the defensive listener only to listen to dominate the speaker. So by asking some stupid questions, or they will think themselves they are much intelligent than the speaker, so that they will ask some more intelligent questions and all, so that they wanted to catch that speaker anything and they wanted to corner them. So these are defensive listening. See, tips for being a good listener. Don't finish other people's sentence before he is completes. And don't daydream while the person is when the person is talking. It's easy to space out and start thinking about something else. See, once finish this session, what we will going to do and which movie we will be going to do and which movie we wanted to book the ticket and then today's dinner, what's our plan. So these are the things comes into our mind. So please keep clean our mind and then listen very carefully in the any session. And plan your response after the person has finished speaking. Don't interrupt when he is speaking. And provide feedback in the form of rephrasing the word you heard. So rephrasing the word what you heard from the speaker, that you repeat it again and then you can make the feedback. And take note of non-verbal cues such as gestures, postures and then face expressions. So everything you just take a note. So a good listener has taken note of all these things. Skills to improve conversation. So how to improve our conversation skill? So we need to learn to listen well. So only we listen well, only we can able to continue our conversation and we can able to respond to anything. So we are the only responsibility to getting the response from the other end. So and then we need to keep some pause. So when we heard anything and when we listened to anything, we need to keep some 10 or 20 seconds pause and then you start response on that. Then the conversation will be keep on going and then ask so many questions to keep on conversation going. Don't simply keep yourself calm. Never assume that you understand what the other person is saying or trying to say. Instead ask, how do you mean exactly? So this is the most powerful question to keep on conversation goes on. And then some of the and then you keep on conversation very well. Ask more open-ended questions rather than closed-ended questions. See, closed-ended questions are nothing but always liars are using to cover the victim, whether you are their presence at the time, say yes or no. Like most of the yes or no questions, the liar will be corner the victim. So rather than you wanted to keep the conversation going on, you always ask open-ended questions. Some of the few examples I had narrated below. Tell me about yourself and then tell me about your relationship with your boss how do you see your future? If you ask such open-ended questions, the conversation will keep going on. So you could not able to simply reply in one word answer. If you ask anybody, tell me about yourself, means he is supposed to describe himself from what are the things are comes into his mind from the beginning itself, from his education, then his career, everything he will be going to elaborate, and then the communication will keep on going on, then conversation will be keep on going. And then paraphrase the speaker's word. See, you need to paraphrase the speaker words. See what the speaker is saying, you need to repeat the same thing, and then you ensure whether the speaker has said the same thing to you, or else the speaker will keep on continue, and he wanted to make you understand by explaining another from different way he will explain it to you. And then be a dominant listener, and then love to listen very well. See, when you are attending in any seminar or any session, or when you are attending in any training program, you need to love to listen. See, you need to understand what the speaker is saying first. Please, without dominating them and without asking any such stupid questions. And then the speaker also has give the opportunity to speak the other end users or other listener or who are the participants. So share the opportunity to speak the participant will create the conversation skill keeps going on. And then non-verbal communication. See, non-verbal communication through. See, before that we had come across verbal communications and everything. See, through eye-to-eye contact also we can communicate to the people without writing anything or without saying by our mouth, through eye-to-eye contact. So, through eye-to-eye contact when we are communicating, it increases the speaker's credibility. So, whenever we are speaking anything to them, we need to make eye-to-eye contact. And through facial expression also we can communicate very well through the people. Apart from when we are lot of speaking and we are writing anything, writing lot of things, we can communicate to the people through our facial expressions by laughing or by making our faces sorrow expression or by happiness. So through everything is this facial expression we can communicate a lot. And then through gestures. See, whenever you are speaking, please, rather than speaking more, you can use most of your gestures. So this will speak to the participant more effectively than what we are speaking through our mouth. See, when we are showing from our hand, like when we are speaking about global means, when we are showing like this, the shape in front of the participant means, then this will be reached more than what we are speaking from our mouth. So you can use gestures always when you are communicating to the people. And then through postures. Through postures itself, through postures itself, we can communicate a lot to the people rather than the speaking. See, in this picture is showing one person is sitting in the cross-leg situation. It means he is communicating that he is from the very superior position, that he is very big position in some corporate concern. And then below the picture is showing the man is showing that I am very friendly to you. He is communicating that he is very friendly to all his participants. And the third person is showing that he is more confident. So that he wanted to communicate that he is more confident to the participant. So that he wanted to show. And then the fourth lady also is showing that she is more confident when she is communicating any thoughts or anything to the participants. And then the fifth one is showing her humbleness by closing by her hands like this. So through our gestures and postures itself, we can communicate a lot to the participant rather than we are speaking by our mouth and then we are showing it by written language. And then this definition is showing by Dr. Albert Mehrabian. He is also saying the same thing. See, only 7% spoken words are communicating to the people, and then the rest of the thing 38% and 55% of body language will speaking much than the spoken words what you are communicating to the people. So improve your voice and tone and body language rather than what you are using the many words. See, most of the intelligent people will not speak much, but they will show their intelligence by their voice or their tone or their body language. So when you are looking at some big political people, they can they can show themselves as if they are very big people by their body language itself, but they will speak very less. And then humor sense is the much important in the communication. See, we need to show that we are very humor sense when we are communicating anything to the people. So this will be reach people very well. And I'm going to play one video in front of you, which is related to the communication. And it is about 4 minutes video, so I would request you to all watch carefully in this video. Please hold on. Yeah, sure. Sure, Balaji. Yeah. Is everyone can able to see this video? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I hope everybody has watched this video without any interruption. Yeah, please hold on. See, from this video, what we understand is the first person wanted to communicate. He has kickstart the bike and then he accelerating it and then he is turning the steering. Correct? So the first person has communicated the same thing promptly, and the second person was not listened what the first person has communicated to him. So because of this, he passes this information but not understanding, and then he communicated some different thing. So finally the communication process is going on, and finally to the end person the communication process is not happened completely. So in this, what understand is the listening ability is less of the listening ability, and then there is a communication gap is happened, and then the second person is not communicated well. So these are the things are happened in this video. So because of this, the communication is not properly passes through the other person, right? So these are the things we understand from this video. Thank you. That's it. Okay, Balaji sir, you carry on. Thank you, Balaji sir.
And it is really, hello.
Yeah, please.
It is really a very good presentation.
Okay.
And
Yeah, sure.